It's part two because we're probably running a little bit longer, so we didn't want to fuck the time up. So we're doing this. You know, in case you were offended by my last song selection, let me make it up to you with this banger to get us back into part two.
A solid selection.
Let's go.
Shout out David, but shout out I guess Drax the Destroyer.
Hey, that's my guy. Hell yeah.
Fucking Dave Batista.
Fucking shout out the whole clique, man. Shout out Rocket. Shout out, man, bro. Gamora. R.I.P. Gamora, bro. We over here talking about, or I guess R.I.P. Gamora.
The real Gamora.
Yeah. Well, the real Gamora, please stand up.
She can't. She did.
She fell, bro. She couldn't stand up at all. We miss you, Gamora. Anyways. Shout out Thanos. Like,
man, fuck Thanos. Honestly, dude, like, dude,
fucking
honestly, what's crazy
asshole,
to me, honestly, like, quick little thing about Thanos is like my little Thanos rant is like, I love how he was just like, man, I'm gonna kill half the life on the universe, and it's like, okay,
you're welcome.
why don't you just give us twice the resources, you fucking dumbass? Like, why couldn't you just like, you have all this power, you could be like, hey, let's make every resource like, you know, renewable resource. Let's make food like water, you know, where all you got to do is just wait.
Bro.
Yeah, nah. It's just, no, that motherfucker, like, because you go off the actual comic book version, he wanted to kill half the fucking universe because he was trying to get in Lady Death's pants. He wanted like some necrotic pussy, and honestly, was fucked up. No, dude, like not even that, dude. Like you can't kill Death. So, like, she sees what he did is like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, do you know how much goddamn paperwork I have to do now, you big purple bastard? Like, and then all of a sudden,
no, I'm at work. Can't hang out tonight. I'm at work.
Pretty much. And the funniest part about that is Death is in love with Deadpool because Deadpool can't fucking die, and Death is just like, I want what I can't have, and Deadpool's like, oh, you telling me? Like,
bro, that's a love triangle for the ages right there, man. I don't even know what to say on that one.
No, it's fucked up, dude. I read a lot of comics.
Probably give it a big ew.
Yeah, it's not fun. But with that being said, man, we're gonna go into Harley's #1 album of 2000.
Number motherfucking one. Here we go. It is, without a doubt, dude. Like, you know, it's funny. Like y'all listen to this album, and you guys were like, "Holy shit, I know every fucking song." Dude, you talk about an album being beat to fucking death. Like, this album was played non-motherfucking stop, and it was like the biggest refresh. Like, because you had all this, like the new metal shit had been going on for years, and you had all this stuff happening in your face, and then all of a sudden it's just like back to basics, the simplicity of the human mind, and like it's just straightforward, basic 4 chords and a cloud of dust rock, and it is one
fucking shout out the hometown boys or the home state boys,
the
really.
Home state boys, and goddamn Escapade.
Hey, Eskimo,
give me some top.
Eskimo top Mississippi.
Escapania.
Escatopla, or whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, who gives a fuck? It's goddamn 3 Doors Down, bitch. And it's the Better Life, their debut album. Holy fuck, dude. Okay, so there's a reason. Okay, one, this album is a motherfucking banger. Like, it doesn't have a weak point. It is dude, it is one of the most fun albums to listen to in any fucking point in your life. Any kind of day you're having. Like, and for two, it holds a lot. Like, I hold it very dear to me because, like, when I quit drinking in 2016, like when I was, drinking, and Trevor can contest, I was drinking anywhere from a pint to a fifth of Canadian Mist a day.
Oh boy!
I just say a pint on average because some days I might have not drank that much, but like it was a rough time, brother. And Like I quit drinking, like just quit fucking cold turkey, goddamn horrible. I went a few months, like it was a rough time. Like I lost all my, like I couldn't fucking sleep. But by God, I had goddamn Three Doors Down to listen to, and
Damn
like I
right.
listened like to their first 4 albums like non fucking stop. And this was, this was a big one because this is the first. Because I was like, I started listening to it. Something happened. Like I just heard a Three Doors Down song, and I was like, I don't even remember what it was. I just remember hearing a Three Doors Down, and I was like, damn, I kind of want to fuck with that a little bit. So I was like, I'm gonna listen to the first. And this is back like 2016. Like I had to go. Like I got the CDs. Like I bought CDs, and I listened to this. I'm gonna start with the first album and see if I like it. I actually borrowed it from somebody, and I listened to it, and then I was like, I'm gonna buy my own. So I went and bought all my own copies of Three Doors Down, of like the first 4 albums. Actually, the first 5 albums I got all on CD. But anyways, this motherfucker, dude, this album is so fucking good. And like I said, you talking about overexposed? They don't even fucking give a term for what this shit is. Let me just read off the track. The fucking. Let me just read this shit off. I'm talking about motherfucking. It opens up with Kryptonite, one of the biggest songs of all time. Like, has to be, dude. This
Mega
is
hit.
mega fucking hit.
Fucking
Like,
mega hit.
like everybody knows that. Do 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 do. That fucking
My
drum.
kryptonite.
And
He
like,
wrote,
Oh man,
also, fun fact, Brad Arnold wrote Kryptonite during math class at the age of 15.
that's what I'm
mhm.
talking about, man.
Yeah,
This
he
is
wrote
probably
in the
the.
back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he wrote in the back of math class, like it was just about his friend. What was it, Trevor? He was like, it was just about his friend. He was like, oh, he just thinks he's a whole high and mighty because he got a fucking car or some bullshit. Like it was like something stupid. Like he just wrote it because he was like, this motherfucker's acting tore up. Like whatever. Well, it was like some basic teenage shit, and like,
This
but the
looks like it's like
way,
a diss track towards his.
yeah, but like the way he wrote it was like the way it's written, and you're like, what the fuck? Like this is some deep shit. No, it's not that fucking deep. It's just some teenage boy shit. He just hit
Oh,
it.
because his girl rode to Sonic with like
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
Like,
Like he just hit it. He hit it so well in the fucking. He hit it so good in the damn in the lyrics.
to be like that. This is maybe the biggest song that was ever recorded in Memphis, Tennessee. Actually,
Yeah,
maybe debatably, and that's a lot.
yeah. That's a lot. I mean, dude, and I've seen Three Doors Down. Dude, I've seen them twice in my life. Dude, like they are damn. They are a great band. Honestly, like
That's
to see
something.
live, like dudes are spot on. I can't bullshit. But like I also like the guitar player. Shout out Chris Henderson. Most people don't like. I feel like he's underrated, and also, but like he always stuck out to me because he's always been like bodybuilding. Like he's a big jacked up motherfucker playing a Paul Reed Smith. Like he looks like he's playing a damn. He looks like he's playing a damn Little Tykes guitar on stage. Like it's fucking hilarious. But like the
Man's
dude
got a baby
spreads,
guitar, like, but it's just a
yeah,
regular
dude.
size.
But he is fucking spreading the whole time. You're like, God damn, this motherfucker's going off.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but like we'll just you got Kryptonite, and then you got Loser, which is a fucking generational song. Like that song, I swear to God, that song finds somebody else. Like it finds a new audience every fucking week. Like it just keeps going. Duck and Run, fucking banger. Not enough. I mean, like that's when it starts getting fun. Like once you get like, dude, I don't know, like not enough, like just 7 days underpaid. Gotta give it up. Got no time for this life. Got to give it, dude. It's man, it's good. Like, and I think the thing about like what helped me, I guess, in the whole sobriety, like quitting drinking and shit, and like listening to this shit was like Three Doors Down is really, it's really motivational music. It's like it's I don't
I
know how to
agree.
explain it. It's kind of like loving yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
it's
like,
like hating and loving yourself at the same time. Like
yeah,
you know, it's very very real. It's human music. You know.
yeah. I'm living up.
Now that's
Dude,
what
it's
I
fucking,
call human music 2000.
dude.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really
Shouts
is.
out to Ab Soul.
It's just, it's so relatable to like everyday life. And then you're like, and Brad Arnold's just singing to you. He's like, hey, he's like, I'm gonna love me for me. It's like, hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Like it just, I don't
Hell
know,
yeah, brother. Yeah, I got you.
like it just does something. But then like you got Be Like That, which is on, wasn't that on American Pie too? Or Be,
I don't
Maybe it
I don't
was
know
on. It was on.
exactly.
It's been
I'm
on some
gonna look it
movies.
up. We got Wikipedia right here, brother. And
it
Oh
was on one of the fucking,
it was on American Pie too. Yep.
yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it's like, but they wanted them to change the lines in that movie, so it's like, because the beginning of it is how does it go? It's like he spends his nights in California watching the stars on the big screen. Cause like and I think what they did, I think they changed it. They might have changed it in the movie to be like like what is he like? He lies or he spends his nights in Indiana or something like because they
I
wanted to
got
do
you.
it like Midwestern shit because like that's what I guess like I guess like American Pie was like Mid America or whatever. So like that's what they wanted them to change the lyrics. So there's a whole story on that shit that you can go into.
I'm trying to
But
find
like,
it now.
but Be Like That is fucking. I mean, dude, everybody knows that song.
That's my favorite off the album. But
Dude, I
I'll get
mean,
to that.
like you can't go wrong with it. Like
Very heartfelt music. You know, it's
it
like
is.
you know, it's something that everybody I think is you know it taps into emotions I think everybody's felt, and that's you know think about well oh you know sorry not to but not to like ramble on too much, but like it's like people are like, oh, it's pop music, da 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 da. Everybody can make that, like, but no, you really can't, man. I mean, it's hard to make a song or even one song that everybody in the world can be like, even if people that don't even fucking speak English can be like, oh, like and feel it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's very admirable. And yeah, yeah,
Like
great album
that's definitely one of them songs you like anybody can relate to.
for sure.
Like what would I do? Like what would I do to have a life like that, brother?
What would I do?
Then you
Yes,
got
sir.
Life of My Own, which might be it's up there for my man. I love this damn song. Like Life of My Own is just a damn. Whew, it's a dude. It is. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it does to me. I think it's like that spiritual shit, like that loving yourself. And like, I guess I just needed this album, like at that time. Like,
Hmm.
man, it just like I remember this song. Man, I listened to the fuck out of it. Scared. Oh man, it's like you got that. Then you got the title track, "Better Life," which is just like almost like
Absolute banger.
it's like the heaviest song. It's probably like, well, it's kind of like the most upbeat, like hard rocking song on the album. Um, but then you got
I'd
the
agree.
ass beater itself, "Down Poison."
God, that's probably my favorite song on the album.
That's my
I got to
second
be
favorite.
honest. Down Poison is fucking great.
Pretty brilliant.
Dude, yeah, that's some great shit, dude. Like "Down Poison," what a fucking banger! Like, I dreamed about this 16 days away. Now you're here in my head, lays. Dude, that shit. Down poison. Like it's just a damn, but that damn, like that opening riff that just follows into the chord. Oh God, it's such a good damn album. Like, well, it is a great album. But it's like it's such a good fucking song. Like it's very like I don't know, whatever. I was gonna say choreograph, but like you know,
Okay, great choreographed song, dog.
fucking
Yeah.
orchestrated, you know, like composed, like very,
Yeah.
like it's a great composed song. Like it has everything in it, and like I don't know the whole like you know the last three songs, "By My Side," banger, fucking like "By My Side" is a hard hitter, and then "Smack," which is about heroin, and I think it was like if I'm not mistaken, it was like Brad's somebody he knew. Like it might have been a cousin or it was somebody real close to him that was doing heroin, like you know, and that's how he got on that. Like that's how he
Always a
got on.
sad time.
Yeah, like that's how he got on that song. Like he wrote that song about all that, and I don't know. It's a there's a
It's a
lot of
lot.
emotions in this album, dude. Like it is, but dude, it is like I swear to God, it's you can just put it on at any time. Like I said at the beginning of it, it's like you can put this album on at any time in your life, any day, and it's like, yeah, you can listen to it. It's just fucking fun. Like it is so easy to listen to, and
It's
it's
iconic, man. Like it's it's like as soon as I started playing it, I was like, I knew all the songs again. Like it was just like, oh, I've heard this before, and then boom, oh, damn, like.
yeah, oh yeah, I know half this album. Like I heard it on the fucking radio.
Uh-huh. But the Down Poison, I had never heard that before, and it's
Oh
debatably
yeah,
it's my favorite non-hit. You know, I don't even know if it was a hit.
no, it
It should
was.
have been. It should have been.
Most people don't know about that song. Like, dude, Three Doors Down. I'll tell you because they're gonna be on my albums list in the 2000. Like, Three Doors Down. They have some fucking songs like you know that weren't commercial successful. That like they were just on the albums that are motherfucking masterpieces. Like those dudes were writing some fucking heat back then the day. And what's so
Yeah.
crazy to me is like so a little fun fact, Kenny. You might not know this on this album is well, Trevor might not know. I think he does know it, but uh, Brad Arnold, the singer, was the drummer, and he played
Really?
drum. He played all the drums on this first album.
Wow. So he
I
wrote
did
all the
not know
lyrics and
that.
played the drums.
Yeah,
Shit.
and sang. Yeah, he wrote all the lyrics. Well, wrote most of the lyrics, sang, and played drums on the album. He was drumming
Real
and
shit.
singing, and then he was like, once they started, like once Kryptonite got released, and it started getting traction. They're like, okay, we're gonna put you out front. Like the management wanted to put him out front, so they put him out front, and he was the singer. And then they got they hired like a touring musician, Ryan. Fuck, I can't remember his last name. Anyways, Ryan, he was on. He was he was a touring drummer on this album on the first tour, the Better Life tour, and then he was on Away from the Sun, the second album. He did it like he did the album, the studio, and he did the tour, but they wouldn't like the management didn't want to make him a full time member because it would have like cost a lot more
Josh
money.
Priest.
Yeah, like they did like it would have cost a lot more money to make him a full time, full time member and all that.
Yeah.
So you know what happened to him?
What?
You know what he went and did?
What?
Since they wouldn't come together on money, and they kept dicking around. He said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go be in a band that wants me." And he went and became the drummer for Nickelback. And his first album that he started writing and playing drums on was For All the Right Reasons.
Oh
God damn.
shit.
Dude,
That's a
Oh
great
shit.
album, dude.
That's a
if you
damn good
listen,
album.
if you listen to dude, the drums on that album, on that For All the Right Reasons, are motherfucking nasty, dude.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
man.
but even if you listen to Away from the Sun, that second Three Doors Down album, holy shit! Like you listen to his drumming on that, it's fucking great. Like that dude gets a great sound. Like even now, like even he's still with Nickelback. Like even to this day, like dude's a great drummer.
He crafted
Nickelback,
basically a whole aesthetic for that type of rock for alternative rock.
yeah,
That's a very I did not know any of that. That's interesting. So
yeah,
basically, they got done by the record label like, nah, I'm gonna need you to go on and stay for the second part of the shift. The
yeah.
second
You
for the
know,
night shift. Like,
It's like, am I gonna get paid? And they're like, no.
yeah, exactly. Like, nah, man, we're gonna need you to work Sunday.
They're like, damn, is this mugshots or 3 doors down?
Right? Well, there probably is a mugshots in Encyclopedia, Mississippi.
But yeah, dude, and that like, I guess the last thing about this album, we went on a little bit about it, but like, so I need you. That's one of my favorite 3 door top. It's a top 5 3 doors down song for me. There's a lot of I don't know. There's a lot in my head that goes on when that song comes on. I love I love it. Favorite song on the album by far, and it's yeah, like this album to me. I mean, it's easy. I don't know. It's easy from like it's a 10 out of 10. I can't help it. I mean, it's so good. I mean,
Respectable.
it's just like, and I think it like the emotional attachment to it. In the time of life that it was there for me. Like I bet, like I hold all the, like I said, those first 4 3 doors down albums, like very dear and near to me. But like that one, yeah, like it's very. I don't know. It was just it was very important in a very dark time. So like it's just there. It's gonna be one of my favorite albums of all time forever. That's just how it is. But yeah, dude, I love. I don't know. Like it's a great album. Like, and I guess if I didn't have that attachment to it, yeah, I would see. Maybe you could just give it like a. You probably just give it like a 8. You know,
Yeah, I
7.
think it's
Like,
a little
I
better
could
than
say
that 8,
that,
just in general.
but like like I said, for me, I had to give it a 10 because it just means more. It means more to me. It means something to me, man.
This is my shit. I like this. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, fucking put, man. Uh, very good take. Um, I want to start this off by saying fuck Pop Matters magazine and fuck Spin magazine. For Pop Matters gave it a 3.4 out of 10, and Spin gave it a 4 out of 10. So fuck them. I just want to just start my little take on this album with that. I can't really say much that Harley hasn't already said. He very well put. It's another one of those albums that, damn, like Harley, bro, were you in my childhood? And I just didn't notice. Like, was you CIA, bro? Like, like, tell me now,
I was topping it up with you.
Yeah, right. Like, I was like, damn, do I have like memory loss or something?
That's
Like,
right.
um, but I give this is a 9 out of 10 for me right now, with probably potential to go up. Because the first half of the album up to the fifth song, I knew all five, the first 5 tracks. I just knew them because they were gigantic. Um, and Be Like That, yeah, that's probably my favorite song off the album, just in general. Like, play it, put it on, when you're crying, put it on when you're happy, put it on when you're, melancholy, put it on whenever you're gonna feel something. It'd be like that. Kryptonite, was Kryptonite in Spider-Man, or am I tripping?
It's in a Superman movie.
Superman.
I think it was in a Superman movie, if I'm not mistaken. I think you might be thinking of the "A Hero Can Save Us" fucking from Nickelback and
Oh
Jason
yeah,
Statham song.
and they say that I'm here. Yeah. I got you. Yeah. Down Poison, fantastic song. That's very close to being my favorite. It may end up being my favorite before it's all said and done. I've still only heard it a couple times. Smack, it's yeah. Out of all the songs that are written about heroin and the the just misery that comes with that, it holds its own. It's like it's only 2 minutes 29 seconds, and it's the shortest song on the album, I believe. But like it hits. So I Need You is very good. Um, Loser. I remember that's when I really realized that, like, oh wait, this is that. Like, okay, all these were 3 doors down, and just very good. Like, yeah, I'd even I'd wager, I give this a 9.25. Um, And yeah, that's a fantastic album. I can see why it's your number one.
What do you think? What do you think, T Revs?
Well, growing up in Mississippi and just growing up in a family that was always playing like hard rock from like anywhere from like the late 60s through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even the early 2000s. This album, if I'm not mistaken, we actually had it on CD at one point. So this shit got burnt the fuck out, and I was listening to Kryptonite to the point where my dad was like, "All right, you can pick another song. You know, there's more songs on the album. You can listen to." Of course, I was 5 years old at the time. I was like, "Kryptonite, Kryptonite," and then like getting older, you actually start to understand, like especially "Loser" is just a goddamn heartbreaker of a song. Duck and Run, um, another fantastically put together song. I would have to say my favorite on the album is probably Down Poison. Of the hits, Be Like That is really hard to beat. Um, By My Side is another just fantastically put together song. The writing from Brad Arnold, you know, even including Kryptonite, like I think that's kind of one of the funnier pieces of side lore. You listen to Kryptonite and you're like, wow, whoever wrote this was really going through something. And it's just Brad Arnold, 15 years old, mad that his friend got a car.
She
And
went to
like,
Sonic with him.
yes, goddamn it, that should be my this should be my chili cheese title.
If I could be like
Smart
that.
as fuck.
Yeah, he wrote me like that because she was sucking on a chili dog, sucking on
Yeah.
a chili
Chili
dog.
dog. Sucking on a chili dog, dude. That's a horrible mental image. But anyway, though, like everything aside, you know, I feel like if you're from Mississippi and you haven't heard this song, you are a fucking loser. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're a piece of shit. I'm sorry, but anyway, like I feel like a lot of this. Yeah, I mean, Arnold was convinced to be the singer of the band after receiving positive feedback from one the bassist's girlfriends. So that's
That's who went to Sonic. We'll figure
I
this out. We're getting to the bottom of this one, bro.
Yeah, then hey, he ended up banging her, and then that's why the original bassist left.
Well, you'll have that
I'm
on
just
these
kidding.
big times. Hell, I don't know. Hey,
Sounded good. Sounded good.
no, I'm gonna go. No, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and edit it out, and we'll just have
Nah,
that as a fact. So
I'm just
here's the
kidding.
comeback. Holy shit, dude, that's
Hold up.
crazy information. Yeah,
Listen,
with that in mind, dude, we're gonna have to. Yeah, I'm
hold up.
gaslighting here. Yeah, with,
I have to do something. For
go ahead.
one, you can edit whatever, but I gotta say this: the original bass player actually, I don't know if that shit happened, but what did happen
Oh,
was
didn't he pass
he killed
away?
somebody.
Oh, fuck.
No, he killed
Oh,
somebody.
Oh, he killed somebody?
Yeah, vehicle
See?
God
manslaughter.
damn.
Yeah, he
Oh,
vehicle
he killed
manslaughter.
her? Oh, no.
No, not the woman.
Oh, okay.
No, this is like 2013. This is years later on some crazy shit.
Okay.
He was like, no, it wasn't like no, not the other guy. The other guitar, I think it was the guitar player. I think it was the other guitar player. He ended up passing away. Yeah, Matt Roberts. He was lead and rhythm guitar. Yeah, he left in 2012. He ended up dying in 2016. I think he died of a heroin overdose.
Oof.
Damn.
Oof.
Yeah, the other guy just like vehicle manslaughtered somebody, and that was into that. But
Well, that's
anyways,
normal.
outside of that, okay. So Daniel Adair was the drummer I was telling you about the Nickelback connection. Um,
Mm,
so I'm sorry, I take that he wasn't on Away from the Sun. He was on another 700 miles, which was the Away from the Sun tour. He joined after that tour or after that album was made. He was on the live album, then he was on a live DVD, and then he was on 2005's 17 Days. And when they did the album, they wouldn't. That's when they wouldn't put him a full time member, and they were just going to pay him, you know, like they weren't going to pay him the whole thing. So then he
Yeah.
left, and in 2005, the same year, he went and made All the Right Reasons with Nickelback. Imagine being on those two albums, like 17 Days and All the Right Reasons in 2005. He was on both of those.
The money out the bank,
But
Jesus.
bro.
you
You're
telling
by your
me,
own bank.
on two separate occasions, you were on the two biggest fucking out, like you were on Let Me Go is one of the biggest rock, like one of the most iconic songs from Three Doors Down. Like, you love me, but you don't know who I am. Like, you telling me you're on that, and then you're on motherfucking, look at this photograph. Every
Bro,
time it makes me laugh. Like, dude, the fuck?
who hurt you?
Motherfucker. Richie Mitchell, dude.
Also, one more thing about this album. I'm sorry, I know this is gone forever. Recorded in Memphis, Tennessee, at Ardent Studios. It may be the biggest album that ever came out of Ardent Studios. It is septuple platinum, 7 million records.
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anyways, we went a little bit longer on that one, but we was having
Yeah, it
some
was
fun.
worth it. Oh yeah, it was worth it.
No, it's definitely worth it. Just because I didn't give it a rating, I'd have to give it a solid 9 out of 10. This is one of the probably the best album that ever came from a band based out of Mississippi. Outside of the single "It's Not Me, It's You," if you haven't checked that out, you need to. And
Yeah, go to Vicious Cycle Facebook page.
yeah, go to our old band's Facebook page if you want to see a picture of Trevor in fucking booty shorts, fucking with a bowl cut. We're rough out here, but yeah.
Don't do it.
Anyway,
Please don't do it.
yeah, pretty much. Like,
Anyways,
but no,
here's Trevor's #1 album.
my number one album, after a lot of debate, this started off as my third place, and then I listened to it again, and it turned into second place, and then about 5 listens later. After that, I'm just like, I'm probably going to listen to this after I get off the podcast. So we're talking about, in my humble opinion, one of the best EDM albums ever made. And if you were to just randomly listen to a song off of this, you'd be like, oh, is that the Jackson 5? No, it's the fucking Avalanches. It's two bald Australians. And we're talking about their debut studio album recorded in Sorrento, which is a peninsula off of Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, and Soft Light Bistro and Wow Sound from Melbourne. It's the
Down
Avalanches
under.
with Since I Left You. And let's just immediately go into it because, accolades aside, I feel like this was a very, very influential album for the genre. It starts off with the title track "Since I Left You," which is just a wonderfully put together song. And I'm not going to be able to tell you every single sample that came off of this, but sample sources, like, they come from fucking the Duprees, Lamont Dozier, Klaus Wunderlich, Tony Mottola, Rose Royce. Fucking, like, you have a lot of samples all the way throughout this album, and Since I Left You is a fantastic way to kick off the album. um, if you haven't heard it, I highly recommend starting off with Since I Left You if you've never heard anything from the Avalanches. And I'm talking about the title track, not just the album. But with it being the first track on the album, it just flow. And another thing about this album, every single song flows into the next one. And I don't mean the way it was written and the way they're constructed. I mean, literally, there's no breaks, there's no cuts. There's just one solid piece of music all the way through. And
Like Mozart.
arguably from track 18, you could probably loop this album back into Since I Left You if you really felt like you wanted to. Because I remember when the 20th anniversary deluxe edition came out, which is just covered in fucking remixes. Like, I thought it was just another song, and then all of a sudden I heard the "Since I Left You" like pop in again, and I was like, oh shit, it's the remixes. But I would recommend checking out Since I Left You for sure. Then it immediately goes into Stay Another Season, which is another fantastic song, although short. Then it goes into Radio, which has more of an actual EDM kind of vibe to it. It's more dance influenced, more like kind of set in like that quantum superposition of being like between a Daft Punk song and a disco joint. And right after that, it
Yeah.
goes into two. Right after that, it goes into Two Hearts and 3/4 Time, which is also, which kind of feels like a swing kind of song because it's like that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 kind of drum beat going out through it, which if you don't know is 3/4 time. And that's for the music nerds. And right after that, it goes into easily the shortest song on the album. It's really just like a snippet of a rap beat almost that they had come up with called Avalanche Rock. It's only 22 seconds long, and it flows perfectly into Flight Tonight, which is just a fantastic song. If you haven't heard it, I need you to.
Beautiful piece of
Um,
music.
hmm And again, every song I'm saying right now it's just samples. Like, it's pretty much, they're like Daft Punk, but from the land down under. Throw a shrimp on the bobby, and, R.I.P. Steve Irwin. And,
R.P.
fucking,
Steve Irwin.
yeah, that fucking, we ride the night on that goddamn bitch ass Stingray, dude.
Right, right. This is what we're gonna play when we get that Get Back Stingray. I'm on your ass.
We got the blitz pointed at the ocean, bro.
Right.
But
Hop on
right,
this junk.
right after that, it goes into Close to You, which is a very emotionally charged piece of music. Like, you feel a lot when you listen to this song. There's like mixes of love, mixes of, kind of like a bitterness to it, kind of sadness, but all together it's just a wonderfully, like, the song feels like a warm hug. Right after that, it goes into Diners Only, which is more, it almost feels more like a skit, but at the same time, it's very just like, it's a very good transitional piece into the next two songs, which is A Different Feeling, banger, and then goes into probably my favorite song on the album, Electricity, which, along with Since I Left You and Frontier Psychiatrist, are the three singles that came from this album. Right after that, it goes into another one of my favorites, Tonight May Have to Last Me All My Life, which is just fantastically put together. And then it goes into Pablo's Cruise, which is pretty much the introduction track into Frontier Psychiatrist, which the samples given the music are funny as hell. The fucking, because, like, if you've never heard it before and all of a sudden you just hear, like, that boy needs therapy, you're nuttier, you're a whole coconut, like, just like going throughout the whole song, it is funny as hell. But the horns are just fucking massive in this song, and it just feels like you're in a New York, like you're in like a '90s boom bap beat, but it's also like soulful with a bit of like a disco touch to it, and then obviously there's the sense of humor that comes from the spoken samples that they're lifted from like movies and old westerns and shit like that, and then there's a horse. Like, I mean, there's a lot going on in
There's
any
a whole
song from
horse in
the
this shit.
Avalanche.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the song starts off just you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, but then it makes up for it, like the horns. It just feels like it's somewhere in between, like, big band, almost westernish to a feel, with all like the whips and gun noises, and then like obviously you have the spoken word samples. But I feel like this is one of the better put together songs on the album, and I highly recommend it. Eto goes into that directly afterward, and one of the longer songs on the album, at just a touch over 5 minutes, goes into Summer Crane, which has writing credits from Bobby Lee Trammell, who was a rockabilly singer and a politician. So if you want to get a little bit of that, yeah, I know that's a hell of a career resume right there. It's like, yeah, I sang for
Yeehaw, man.
Reverend Horton, and I also like passed a couple bills. It's like, all right then, man, I do what you want. But
I don't
right
know if
after
Towns Van
that,
Zandt would co-sign that, but all right.
yeah, I know, right? Right after that, it goes into Little Journey, featuring just a fucking just a massive sloth of writing credits for a song that's only a minute 35. And I imagine like all these writing credits, because if you go to the Wikipedia page, it's just boom, they're just every fucking, like, Close to You. I mean, the Isley Brothers, like, that's heavily samples a Isley Brothers song or two, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
all over it. And Saladin Wallace, David Willis, Jay Livingston, Billy Rowe, Claude Cade, Johnny Mandel, like, there are so many people that are credited with the writing, and I do respect that quite a bit from a band that's sampling as heavily as they do. They pretty much just say, yeah, they helped us write it, essentially. And right after Summer Crane, it goes into Little Journey, like I said, minute 35. And as short as it is, it's one of the more hard hitting pieces of music on the album. And right after that, it goes into Live at Domino's, which absolutely wonderful song. It's got a Frank Farian sample from He was a singer who founded the 1970s disco pop group Boney M, the Latin pop band No Mercy, and the pop band, you ready for this, Milli Vanilli.
What
So
the fuck?
yeah, so like they're just all over the place with the samples, and I love every minute of it. And the last song on the album, Extra Kings, features a sample from the. I don't remember if these guys were a gospel group or not, but do y'all remember the Osmond Brothers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
so it's got they've got Bobby Lee Trammell again, and Alan Merrill and Wayne Osmond as the writing credits on it. So expect a
What a
little
name.
gospel feel. Yeah, expect a little kind of a gospel feel to it, and almost like barbershop quartet ass feel. But not to like take that away from anything, I would say as an entire cohesive project, every song flows into the next in such a fucking smooth and beautiful way that you'll be like 5 tracks in and not even realize that it's it's not like you're that far into the album. You're like, why hasn't the first song stopped? And it's like, oh, we're on track 7. And
Yeah.
you'll get that feeling throughout the album. Going back to what I was saying about Electricity, is a fantastic song, and it's it's the first number that they said really came together for them in their own words. It was not originally going to be on the album. It was only going to be as a one-off single, but it was a last-minute addition to the album. And with that in mind, the way they actually constructed the previous song and the song after that, a different feeling, and tonight may have to last me all my life. The way they kind of like workshop that in there between those two songs, you wouldn't even know it wasn't supposed to be on the album. It's a very disco feeling song. It feels like a Daft Punk song at the end of the day. It begins with an opera solo.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one of my favorite
yeah,
parts.
like
I was not expecting the opera.
yeah, no, it just straight up like, you like music, this is music, this that kind of album. And I'd have to say, like, between the hits and Tonight May Have to Last Me All My Life and Close to You, Flight Tonight, even Avalanche Rock being only 22 seconds long, I mean, every song on this album has something for somebody. If not that, then there is a song on here for you that you will really enjoy, and that is a personal guarantee because they hit pretty much every genre you can think of, from pretty much everything outside of metal and more extreme kinds of music like that. This is a very relaxing album to listen to, and although it is only 60 minutes long and some change, you will play it over and over and over again. And this again, the samples all over this album, like you'd have to make a podcast episode just for the samples, just to
I'm reading
list them
here
all.
Raekwon is sampled at some point. I don't know where, but Raekwon's on here at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah, I mean, like sampling artists are like Francois Hardy, Blowfly, Sergio Mendes, Raekwon, Wayne and Schuster, Madonna, Rodgers and Hammerstein. Like, they're like anything you can think of is on this album, and it's just like they made it like no one was going to listen to it anyway. They had that kind of attitude going into the album, and boy, how wrong were they? It is listed on the ARIA Music Awards of 2001. It won in 4 categories: Breakthrough Artist, Album, Best Dance Release, Producer of the Year, Breakthrough Artist, again, Single for Frontier Psychiatrist. Since I Left You, one of the best reviewed albums of 2000. It was listed at number 10 in the book of the 100 Best Australian Albums of All Time. And all that in mind, dude, my first listen, it was a solid 8 out of 10. Up to this point, I got to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's not quite a 10 for me, but here in maybe a year when I finally listen to it another 200 times, it'll probably be a 10. But all the way throughout, I got to give it a 9.5. What are y'all's thoughts?
Oh man. this album smacked my ass in the face, dude. I was not expecting. This is the first album I listened to on our exploration into the year 2000 outside of my bubble, and I was not expecting to get this freaking Steve Irwin goes to space and heaven and Atlantis music, bro. Man, it's like it's something, man. It's a lot to digest, but at the same time, it's so effortless at the same time, which I know that contradicts it. That's a oh cool, blah, 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 all right, yeah, but it does, man. You really gotta like, if you haven't heard this and you like EDM or you like Daft Punk or you like fucking Steve Irwin, you need to go and listen to it right now. Um, you know, I Trevor, you did a fantastic job on that review. There's not really much I can add to it, and I need to, like you said, listen to this album about 1,000 more times to give my honest first thoughts on it.
It is an album that gets better every single time you listen to it. Like as many times as I've listened to it already, like I said, I'm probably gonna listen to it at some point tonight while I play Ace Combat. Fucking like it is just one of those albums that like it's probably going to be in my forever rotation.
Absolutely. I feel like I say this every episode. I think I've already said it once in this episode, but it's a foundation of a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
But at the same time, very distinctly stands on its own, My favorite track, it's Flight Tonight at the moment, but Tonight May Have to Last Me All My Life and Electricity are very, very close. Can't go wrong with any of those. You really can't go wrong with anything on this album. And I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, people. I'm yawning and I'm burping. But like, yeah, it flows so cohesively together as as like a music nerd. That part of my brain is like very happy to hear that, and I think I'm just gonna have to copy Trevor's sentiment on that one and call this a 9.5. Very, very creative. There's never gonna be anything like it.
Nah, it's very unique. But like, I'll say this, like the first time I heard it, I fucking hated it.
Yeah, because you were in the mood for George Strait. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, come to
say George Strait for sure.
Come to find out, I just wanted to listen to George Strait, and then when I listened to that, and then I went back and listened to the album, I was like, okay, this shit kind of goes hard.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, it does. It's nonstop flowing. Everything just goes into each other. There's some wild shit, like the horses neighing and shit like that. It's kind of trippy. It's just like, dude, it really is a good album for like being EDM. Like, I'm not a big EDM fan or like house music. Like, that's never been something I've just dove off into. But like, well,
you're about to. So.
Like, no, I better not. Like ever since like Trevor's got into it for some reason, I think it's because he's liberal. No,
liberal.
Goddamn libs. The libs got to you. No. But anyway, fucking really, it's just like whenever Trevor got into EDM and house music stuff, and like he showed me some stuff. Which I think it's kind of funny that I listened to all that shit before he listened to Hybrid Theory, which is fucking
right.
Yeah, which is fucking odd. Like, motherfucker made me listen to Daft Punk, but he wouldn't listen to goddamn motherfucking Place for My Head, bitch.
I had to check out the sources. I had to check out the sources of where everything is coming from.
Bennett is one of the best singers of all time. Like, that's all you need to fucking know.
Yeah, man. This is your warning. This is your warning.
But anyway, it was pretty good. Like, honestly, the whole thing, like, it's a wild ass trip, but it does get better the more you listen to it. It's like after I was like, yeah, fuck that, and then I listened to George Strait because that's what I really wanted. I was trying to force myself. Don't force yourself to listen to this, or you're gonna be very fucking hostile. Just
yeah, it's got to just hit you. It's got to be the right moment for it. I feel you.
Like, you got to be open minded. Like, you got to be ready for it. Like, you
got Crocodile Dundee space music, dog.
Yeah, like you got to be ready for whatever happens next. Like, you just fucking go with the flow. It's good, like, but to me, like, I think it does flow really well together, like everything. But holy fuck, the opening track, title track, Since I Left You is like just so. God damn, it's so good, man. Like, it just.
I love all the track titles,
Yeah, like it's so good. Like since I left you, say another season, radio, 2 hearts and 3/4 time. Like the way it just kind of tells the story, and like it really is. I'm telling you, like it is. It's a great. It's a great album. Like you just, the more you listen to it, the better it is. Like you know, truth, swear, scouts, honor. You know what you got, him boy. You got him. You know, that's on God, bro. On Taylor
All is
Swift.
well on the road to voting in the Democrat primaries now.
That's right. God damn. That's all we need. More sissy liberal. No. The fucking but yeah, like dude, like it just listen to the fucking album. Like if you're open minded to this shit, like since I left you, the best song, like it does, like the album flows really good, but to me it peaks with like the first song is just so goddamn good. Like it's how, like why you open up with that shit, like, and it does pick back up, but to me it's just like that fucking first song is just, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Like it just, it puts you in the right mood. I guess that's why they did it, because like it puts you in the perfect headspace to like chill out and listen to this. Like it's, I don't know, it's great. And yeah, I mean I give it a probably 3 out of 10. No.
Damn. Damn.
Damn.
Hating. We got the first controversy. All right, let's argue.
I probably,
Yeah, it's
honestly,
been
like
episode 29, man. We're just gonna fucking call it short right now.
it'll probably,
I'm
you know,
pulling up.
it'll probably grow on me some more, but you know, I gotta give it a, 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and I'm sure it will grow because, like I said, it really does get better the more you listen to it. But man, like honestly, like the first 5 fucking songs are like, it's just so like they're so easy to listen to. Then it's
It does.
like,
It starts out very flowing,
yeah,
flowy.
like, but like not saying that it doesn't, like it does, like it flows together. Like the rest of the album is like it is good to listen to, but those first 5 songs, like it's just something about them. Like you just have to listen to it. It puts you in a trance. It's wild. But anyways, yeah, that's my like I said, a 7.5 right now. Probably change the more I listen to it. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big EDM house. Like that's not my type of shit. But I do fuck with it.
Getting a
I,
We
seven
gonna
and
get
a
you
half
there.
out of getting a 7.5 out of 10 from Harley on an EDM album is like striking oil in the middle of fucking Alaska, dude.
yeah, that's like
It's
getting,
like it'll be a lot more common from here on out, but it's
yeah, it's getting like that's like getting a didgeridoo on a fucking Disturbed song.
That'd be fire though.
it
It's
would
like
be.
Acorn. This is an Acorn, bro.
Oh wow!
Bow.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, Kenny, go to your number one, and we're just fair warning. It's a fucking 10 for everybody, I reckon.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna
Let
be
me get
honest. It
my.
is a 10.
Let me get in character right quick. All right. This is another public service announcement brought to you in part by Slim Shady. Slim Shady does not give a fuck what you think. Tell him this. If you don't like it, you can suck his. That's some bad language. All right, I'm just gonna send it. You can suck his fucking cock. Tell him to kiss my. Little did you know, upon purchasing this album, you have just kissed his ass. Tell him I'm fed up. Slim Shady is fed up with your shit, and he's going to kill you. Yeah. And anything else? Yeah. Sue me. All right. If you don't know, that was the intro to Eminem's third, but really his second album and his
second
opus.
major label debut, like his second
Yeah.
major label album.
Yeah, it was his second second album on a major. His second album with Aftermath, and it's the fucking Marshall Mathers LP, man. For y'all kids out there, this was the first one, you know.
This
And
album gave white people the confidence to rap.
it really does, man. And it's something, man. The first real track of this album, that was the intro, what I just did. It is called "Kill You." Very just very humble, subtle record about Eminem's how he feels about things, and it produced by Dr. Dre, and it the flows, the beats. This is Eminem's most aggressive album ever. If Slim Shady was like I feel like it's one of his more creative. you know, this is like Eminem, like basically saying he doesn't give a fuck about anybody, and it's also Eminem responding to a lot of the fame and like the people who just hated him, you know, and like uh, it's definitely just taking all of that anger and putting it into fucking music form. And "Kill You" is definitely a fantastic way to start off the album. It's he goes at his mom. He goes at Kim. He goes at these these girlish ass rappers. We see you out there, Fred Durst. Um, you know, like it's got that my favorite bar in it. Hold on, I'm trying to because like the second verse on "Kill You," man, is just like a murder weapon. I'ma conceal you in a closet with mildew, sheets, pillows, and I'ma film you. Fuck with me, I've been through hell. Shut the hell up. Like, this ain't acid rap, but I rap on acid. Just got a new blow up doll and I had a strap on added. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, Eminem will offend, no Eminem will assault. And if you ever give it to him, you'll give him an impulse. Like, it's just, man, if you don't fucking like this song, I'm gonna kill you. You know? Like, all right, so going on into man, everybody knows this song. We've already talked about it on this podcast before, actually, because it's just that good. It's Stan featuring Dido. The first ever rap song, I believe. I may be wrong, but I don't think I am. This is now an official word, like it's in Webster's dictionary. And everybody knows if you don't know Eminem, if you don't like Eminem, whatever, you definitely have used the term "stan" at some point in your life. If you like rap music, or if you like music in general, or life in general, you've used this term, and it's also one of Eminem's. It was the first time that we saw what kind of Eminem would be headed towards later on in his career when he went fucking pop and start rapping about his feelings and shit. Um, but no, all jokes aside, it samples Dido, and I believe Trevor in our 1998 episode gave a little bit of backstory on the beat and the 45 King and how that came to be. It's basically a song about, if you don't know, the video is iconic for it too. But you don't even really need a video for understanding the song. It's a story about a crazed fan who's writing Eminem. In the first verse, he's writing Eminem saying, "Hey man, I wrote you, but you're still not calling." Telling about his, named his daughter after one of somebody very close to Eminem, and it's just very heartfelt. Like a fan. In 2000, back when we didn't have the, click, 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 click email. No, fuck you on Facebook. This is how you wrote your fan. This is how you, tried to, get out to people. Um, I like that he shouts out Raucous Records on this, and I've actually got the underground shit that Eminem did with Scam. So this is if you're a big Eminem fan, then this actually puts you on to some very very obscure Eminem, which is cool. And later on in this podcast, in these years, this might be the last Eminem album I ever cover, but so far I've
I
covered
can't say I blame you.
like dead ass man. Recovery might get on there, Relapse might get on there, but maybe not. Um, but it's I'm not trying to spend 15 years on this either, but I do think that it's these first two tracks. This stand, it probably deserves the most time on like out of the whole review because it. I don't know, y'all. The best storytelling rap song of all time, is it?
I would say it's the most iconic storytelling song of all time.
Yeah. Okay. It's definitely
Like
yeah.
even beyond rap. I mean, it's like the name of it, like literally started a whole word. Like, and what's crazy
Yeah.
is like the influence because like everybody like and nobody else has like when it comes to like super fans of people. It's like obviously you have Swifties and Deadheads and stuff like that. But for hip hop, almost exclusively, everybody's called like for Eminem, it's just stands. But for Kendrick, it's like Kendrick stands or Drake stands or fucking like
Exactly.
Tupac stands, Biggie stands. Like, I mean, you would like that's how influential that song is, just as a whole. You know?
And the beat, I know that the beat sounds so effortless. I know Eminem sounds so effortless rapping over it, but as a as an Eminem crazed, inspired young white rapper, I tried to rap over this. It is an incredibly hard beat to rap over.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it is.
Like, um, I was, 12 years to finally get like a good freestyle over it. I was like, oh wow. And it also created a whole conspiracy about Phil Collins, man. Like this is like definitely got to be one of those like it's in the top 5 of most iconic hip hop songs ever made. the live performance with Elton John, where everybody was like, okay, maybe Eminem doesn't hate all gay people. It just, like, and it also it really brings things. If you look at, I look at Eminem as like three different people. You got Slim, you got Marshall Mathers, and you got Eminem.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, not including Infinite, because Infinite's it's special, it's different. Um, in the major label Eminem, the real Eminem's, life arc or whatever. This is the first time we actually heard from actually like Eminem, like on this last verse of the song,
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that took forever. My bad. So we go into Who Knew, which is cool. I'm gonna skip a lot of the skits. I mean, it's basically like a rehash from the first album as far as the skits. You get a call from Paul being like, "Hey, man, you need to not. Maybe you shouldn't have a whole, song about killing your mother, raping your mother, killing your baby mama, mother your children." And yeah, fuck what Paul got to say, man. We don't really give a fuck. And Who Knew is the next song, track 5. Dr. Dre, man, another thing, man. Dr. Dre's production on this, just there's nothing like. And a lot of people, it's debatable. Obviously, it's debatable, and not really though. Eminem's career started going downhill as soon as Dr. Dre quit actually producing for him.
Yeah.
And not to say Eminem's career went. Never mind. I stand by my statement. My bad. These damn liberals got me over here trying to say everything's good. So Who Knew? It's great. It's about people who think that his music causes people to commit ridiculous acts, and it kind of did a little bit. I'm not saying it caused it, but it definitely influenced some stuff. The Columbine shooting, I think this is the song where he references that. It's aggressive, man. This whole album's aggressive. Another skit. I'm just gonna skip the skit. We're gonna go into The Way I Am, which is
one of the best songs ever written, honestly, especially from Eminem. That's like one of the best, like, well-written hits that he ever put out, honestly.
The flow on it, bro, like the rhyme scheme. I sit back, with sick bags, the bag, but bad, with the bad, the beat. Like it's just like, if you're really like into rap, I don't think anybody's into rap as hard as Eminem is, or in hip hop. Like I don't know if anybody's ever gonna be. And putting words together, this is when he really started just creating these like, different flows, and just it's also fully produced by Eminem, which Eminem as a beat maker, whack, except for this very good beat. Not all whack, but this is one of Eminem's better beats.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's it was all over the place. This single was I think this album might be Double Diamond or something insane like that. And it's this one songs like this and the one I'm about to mention are the reasons why. The Real Slim Shady, man. Boy, the Real Slim Shady.
This is the first. Yeah, it's one of those fucking albums. It's just one of those kinds of songs.
This is the first rap song I ever remember hearing, like in my entire life. This is the very first rap song I can ever remember hearing. Like I was like probably like I had to been like 2 or 3, so that means this shit just came out. It just dropped. And my mom was over. She was taking me to drop me off at my dad's or whatever for the weekend or whatever. It had to have been shortly after they had split, And like I remember, like my mom, the song was playing, and we're like pulling up. All them early kid memories are, But this song's playing. And it's like, well, the Real Slim Shady, please stand up. And like my mom was like, I'm the Real Slim Shady, and my dad's like, I'm the Real Slim Shady, and I'm like, no, I'm the Real Slim Shady. Like I guess I was right.
I guess so. Goddamn.
But yeah, man. Like it's so. And Dr. Dre said, "Nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement. Feminist women love Eminem. Chicka, Slim Shady. I'm sick of him. Look at him walking around, grabbing his you know what, flipping the you know who. Yeah, but he's so cute though. But Will Smith don't got a cousin who raps sell records. Well, I do."
The part that gets me laughing every single time, besides the Will Smith bar, is the fucking like humor of a 10-year-old. But the fucking my bum is on your lips, my bum is on your lips, and if you're lucky, you just might give it a little kiss.
Like a head trip to listen to, but it's just, man, and it's also real. The third verse is some of the realest shit. Like it's like talking about like it's a very Eminem defining. It's a very Eminem defining. It's a very Slim Shady defining track. Like if we have to show the aliens who the fuck Slim Shady is, we're gonna send them this, you know, like and it goes into Remember Me featuring RBX and Sticky Fingers, which if I had to pick a weak spot on here, probably this. Um, it's like you know, it's good. Not to say it like this album's a 10 for all three of us, like my lovely co-host pointed out. But if I had to pick a weak spot, it would probably be Remember Me. I don't really have much. I don't really have much to say about it, to be honest with you. That's the only, you know, I don't want to. I don't want to cap. You know, to use a term that was that I bet Eminem hates the word cap. But
Well,
yeah,
he'll be alright.
yeah, right. Fucking fuck off. Um, uh, then we go into I'm Back, which is it's not as bad as Remember Me, you know. But it's also it's good. The hook's kind of like that's why they call me Slim Shady. I'm back, and it's some more just you know, fucking Eminem just telling motherfuckers what you know what it is, you know. All right, going into track 11, which is maybe it's one of my favorite Eminem tracks of all time. Marshall Mathers, man. And this song got him sued by his mother. If you want anything else, like I don't know what else to tell you, dog. This song got this man sued by his mom, like,
Jesus.
and it's about his life after being famous, basically. And oh, sorry, no, this is about the lawsuit from his mom. So, like, it's also when Eminem first goes into his first like the first I can remember of his melodic bag. You know, like Eminem's the greatest singer of all time. You know, he fucking destroyed ICP and Vanilla Ice. Come at me, Juggalos. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah, fucking damn right, Slim Anus. I ain't never been fucked in mine.
bro, man. Hold on a second. I got you.
I'm not
Vanilla
gonna lie,
Ice don't like me. Spray Fago root beer and call themselves clowns because they look redacted. Faggot, too dope, and silent gay claiming Detroit when y'all live 20 miles away. Like, I'll fucking wrestle. I'll knock you fucking redacted the fuck out. But yeah, man. I don't know if you ain't listened. If you ain't ever heard that, then you're probably doing much better in life. Like you didn't get very. The liberals definitely ain't listening to this one, man. They used to be, but like,
God.
let's go straight into King Kniff, and I almost said our friend King Kniff, but that would just be way too cringy. It's
Fucking
just a
Ken
bunch.
Kniff. Honest to God, dude, those are the only skits that just like make me like they make me recoil and disgust. Just because the first one that ever came out, it was like some dude, like the first one that was actually on like the Slim Shady LP, that Ken Kniff
Yeah,
skit. It was just a friend of Eminem calling him and like prank calling him. I forget exactly who it is, but this one is Eminem doing the voice, and thank God he broke away from this because these are really hard to listen to, and pretty much like I'll describe it so Kenny doesn't have to.
there you
This Ken Kniff skit is essentially Eminem or Ken Kniff himself, like getting some just mean old sloppy top from ICP,
Yeah,
and
from
pretty much,
Violent,
man.
oh
Violent
yeah,
Day.
suck it, Shaggy. Go ahead, Shaggy.
I
Yeah.
Come
was
on,
getting some
dumbass.
head,
He's like, no,
getting
mix it
some
up.
head.
He's like, go. He's like, no, put it in Violent J. He's like, get on his. Oh, that shit. I was listening to it yesterday. That shit had
It's
me
a
fucking.
lot.
I don't know.
It's disgusting, but it's goddamn hilarious. Like if you haven't heard it, like it's fucking funny. But like the second and third time you hear it, it's like, yeah, let's just go into drug ballad. Like,
Yeah. So this starts, and I know we're into 3 track runs on here, but for this album, I want to make a special condition. I want to make this it's really a 6 track run, but if we keep Under the Influence out, I want to start this on maybe a 5 track run that might be one of the greatest in hip hop history. Drug Ballad featuring Dina Ray may not be one of the. It wasn't mine. It didn't really stick with me until later on in life when allegedly I was partaking in some tripping and I listened to it and I was like, this is fucking hilarious, you know. And ever since then, I think it's one of my favorite. It's one of my more favorite Eminem songs because and it also has a very dark backside to it. Sorry, it has a very dark uh, uh, subplot to it that I'll get to in a second. But like it starts up back with Mark Wahlberg was Marky Mark. This is how we used to make the party start. We used to mix him with Bacardi Dark, and when it kicks in, you can hardly walk. And when the fucking drums kick in, like fucking shit, bro. Like this is like it's such a fucking bop, dude. It's like and it's about obviously it's called Drug Ballad, so it's about Eminem's love of drugs. It's his love song to drugs. And hold on one second. It also features our favorite Superman singer, fuck Mariah Carey, Dina Ray, and this song actually. I watched this is how big of an Eminem fan I am. My sister was telling me I'm not an Eminem fan like that, and like she's capping because like I watched a 3.5 hour interview with Eminem's former bodyguard, and he said that this is the song that got Eminem after this song is when he was really really on drugs. Which hey, I'm not trying to glorify drug abuse or any of that. This is just what it is, and it definitely I can see that. I guess he's talking about these drugs really got a hold of me. These drugs really got a hold of me, and it's almost now knowing what you know and shit about Eminem and about his entire life. It's kind of haunting,
Yeah, no doubt.
And then but it's also hilarious, man. It's like the last, and he predicted his future in this song, and it's kind of interesting that this is what he said. But now I've all grown up now and upgraded and graduated to better drugs and updated, but I still got a lot of growing up to do. I still got a whole lot of throwing up to spew. But when it's all said and done, I'll be 40 before I know it with a 40 on a porch telling stories with a bottle of Jack, 2 grandkids in my lap, babysitting for Haley while Haley's out getting smashed. And like, I mean, I bet he did think that's how his life was finna go. I mean, part of Eminem probably still wishes that's like how his life did go. But yeah, I know I'm taking forever and a day on this, so I'm gonna go right into Amityville featuring Bizarre, which has maybe my favorite Eminem verse on the entire thing. Bizarre's verse it's bizarre, man. I mean, it's I'm not gonna get mad at not gonna get mad at a weird at Bizarre for being very very bizarre. But if you think Eminem's too much, man, Bizarre is definitely too much. I mean, Bizarre is definitely just too much, But
I mean, it's right in his name. I mean, what'd you expect?
right. I mean, yeah. Would you think you were listening to Safe? Like what? Like the rapper Safe? Um, but yeah, the third verse on this, and I'm not gonna quote it because I've already quoted way too much Eminem lyrics. Somebody's gonna be making a TikTok about me and be like, look at him, sitting on the front porch. But the third verse on there, man, it's one of my favorite. It hits. That joint hits. And a lot of these early Eminem verses, they hit like that. But this one's, I don't know, it just with the beat and goddamn, And this is also produced by the Bass Brothers and Eminem. So I mean, maybe I'm a hater, bro. Maybe I'm a hater when it comes to like, this Eminem production. It's definitely the best Eminem production, I think, out of his whole career. So then we go into Bitch Please Part 2. Watch out for these features. Oh, that isn't, besides, until Bizarre, there was not a feature on this album, by the way. Well, there was RBX and Sticky Fingers. I don't want to leave them out, my bad. But yeah, this is the features, bro. Dr. Dre, Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, and Exhibit. Bitch Please Part 2. Now,
Jesus.
If you got a problem with any of them folks, bro, get the fuck on down, bro. You can leave, dog. And it's a sequel to a Snoop Dogg track with the same name. And just iconic verses by everybody. R.I.P. Nate Dogg. R.I.P. Good Eminem. Exhibit, man. R.I.P. Pimp My Ride. Dr. Dre. I can't say R.I.P. about nothing because you sole survivor, dog. And then shout out to Snoop Dogg, man. I know I talked a lot of shit about Snoop Dogg, but I mean this is a very this song it's a classic, man. It really is. And then, but I'm not gonna spend that much time on it because I got to spend time on Kim. And holy shit, man, fucking Kim, bro. This is it's an important song in just life, and I'm glad that somebody, and I guess Eminem's the perfect person to do it. I'm glad that somebody made it, but Jesus, is it hard to listen to now. It basically is. It's if you were here for our 99 episode, which if you weren't, then, bro, what you doing, bro? I mean, we out here. Get out of my yard. But this is Eminem and Kim having a fight, and if you know anybody, or unfortunately, if you grew up in any type of a domestic abuse situation, everybody knows what this sounds like, and everybody knows what this. So some people, unfortunately, have had to experience what this is. But for the people who haven't, this is basically an audio version of you know, domestic violence and murder, and it's uh, you know, and thank God that Eminem didn't, you know, go through with any of this stuff. And I would like to believe that, you know, a lot of this is a character, but the other part of me thinks that there's no way you could actually write a song like this unless you actually felt like this. But there's also, man, you know, if you need an outlet or whatever, if you know you're the first time this song was showed to me, it was by somebody I know that's close to me, and they're like, whenever I'm really mad at my girl, this is what I play. This is what I play. Um, and I'm not gonna get it too into the lyrics because honestly, I don't really want to quote a lot of it. But he basically, if in '97 Bonnie and Clyde, he's taken the body of the mother of his child into the river or to the lake to dump it with his daughter in the car. This is the prequel to that, and it basically the last like what 2 minutes of the song or like 30 seconds at the end of the song like is basically Eminem just violently stabbing her to death, and it is so explicit that on the censored version of this album, which is hilarious. If you bought the shouts out to the censored version of Marshall Mathers LP. But this song doesn't.
Yeah,
Like this
about
song,
15. It's about 15 minutes long. No,
right? No, dude. They. I mean, bro, they had to really get creative, dog. But this song isn't even on there. Like, it's not even on it because it wouldn't make any. It was. They tried to do a censored version and it didn't even. They couldn't do it. It wouldn't make it. Didn't make any sense.
brother, you can't do a censored version.
Mm-mm.
You ever listen to a damn? You ever listen to Domestic Dispute and like sat there and tried to make it like you're like, I'm hearing this, but I gotta damn make this like PG. It's like, no, you can't. Like, you can't. Like, that shit is
Yeah.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you can make that sound good in any goddamn way. Like,
Right.
you know,
It's
I laugh
something.
about the pain.
It's definitely something, and I think there's a place for it. I think that there's, you know, and we'll get to. "We Cry Together" by Kendrick Lamar is the only other song that I've heard that gives me that same type of like this shit. Let me use an old school. This song gives me the bejeebies, you know.
The
Um,
heebie-jeebies.
yeah. Under the Influence featuring D12. This was the first appearance by D12 on an Eminem album. You know, which is very iconic and very, you know, good for everything. And I would like to spend more time on it, but I am, you know, it's the, like, if you don't know who D12 is, fuck you. But anyways, this is Eminem, Proof, Bizarre, Swifty McVeigh, Denying, Kaniva, and Eminem, man. And this was the prequel basically to what was to come with D12. You know, Proof was Eminem's best friend, R.I.P. All very great MCs, and it was really cool that, you know, this song's just kind of in the cut on the Marshall Mathers LP, you know. But the final song, I'm gonna just do the intro real quick. A lot of people ask me stupid fucking questions. A lot of people think that what I say on a record or what I talk about on a record, or that I actually do in real life, or that I believe in it, or that if I say I want to kill somebody, that I'm actually going to do it, or that I believe in it. Well, shit, if you believe that, then I'll kill you. You know why? Because I'm a criminal? No, 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 no. Like, yeah. This shit's hard, bro. And it's three of Eminem's best verses ever. And he's in different flows on, like my mother did drugs, hard liquor, cigarettes, and speed. The baby came out disfigured like a mince indeed. It was a seed who would grow up to be crazy as she. Don't you dare make fun of that baby, because the baby was me. Like, this is peak Eminem, man. And like, you know, oh, that's Dre with an AK to his face. Don't make me kill him too and spray his brains all over the place. I told you, Dre, you should have kept that thing put away. I guess that'll teach you not to let me play with it, eh? I'm a criminal. Like, and then at the end of this, um, this actually ends the album, and it ends a skit. And it ends in a skit that Eminem would actually pick back up on almost, what, 11 years later? No, wait, no, hon, no. 14 years later, Eminem would pick back up on this skit and continue it where he left off. So, yeah. Whew, that was a lot. So like, yeah, this album's a 10. My favorite song, holy hell, my favorite song is probably, I think it's Criminal. It's either Criminal or Marshall Mathers. But you can't go wrong with anything on here. It's very, there's a reason why people call this the best Eminem album ever, and I don't disagree with it. It's not. It's very very close to my favorite Eminem album ever.
Yeah, but
We also
you could make a case for the Slim Shady LP.
yeah, I think it's Slim Shady LP is his best one, just because of those two tracks that I don't really I can't really give a whole monologue about like I can with the rest.
Yeah.
But it's damn near perfect. This is a 10. This is basically a perfect album. And on the here, shouts out our boy Fred Durst on the clean version of this album. What replaced Kim was a song called "The Kids," which is actually a diss track towards Kid Rock, Eminem's diss track towards Kid Rock, Fred Durst, and basically just rap rock in general. But yeah,
Which is kind of funny because I'm pretty sure like Fred Durst and Eminem were friends.
they were like
For a minute.
they most definitely were, and he was on Kid Rock's first album. Like,
Like him and Fred Durst were like fucking homeboy. I don't know, but like they talk shit about each other on their albums. I guess that's why people thought they had problems.
they had, they had some type of falling out. I don't remember the exact I don't remember the exact story, but I think they had some type of falling out at some point, and I think that's what inspired the song or whatever. But I'm not. I won't swear to that. But anyways, what do you guys think of this one?
I mean, it's fucking icon. It's one of the most iconic albums of all time. I mean, just over like of all time, like any fucking genre. Like most people know. Like when you say it, everybody's like, you're like, yeah, the Marshall Mathers, and everybody's like, my tears gone gold, I'm wondering why.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're like, dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom. I left 2 letters last autumn. You must not have got them. Hey, I can do stand bar for bar, brother. Don't fuck with me.
Ah, shit. This man can do an
I actually
acapella.
fucking, but I mean, like, dude, it's just like I said, it's a 10 out of 10 for all of us. Like, dude, it's just a fucking badass album. Like the whole thing is, and it's so fucking fun to listen to. And like
Oh,
going
yeah.
back and listen to it yesterday because I haven't listened to it. And shit, it's been a while since I've listened to Eminem. Just because, like, the shit over the last I don't know 12 years has sucked fucking dick. That I just
Hey,
like I have a bad taste of Eminem in my like I just don't want to go back and listen to it much. But like, and then I go back and listen to them albums. I'm like, fuck that shit banging.
fucking good, man. Like, you can't ever say he's not just one of the greatest rappers ever, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But like, yeah, I mean, my favorite song is Ken Kniff skit. Not
God.
no,
All right. All
no,
right. Well, they'll be good.
no. My favorite song on this has to be "The Way I Am." I mean, there's so there's so much going on with it, but it's just God damn it. I don't know. It just something about that song always resonated. Like it always stuck out to me and resonated. I'm just like, I love it.
Wasn't
Like,
it the reason you made that CD for me, Ma? Like,
that or like drug ballad's a close second.
which one?
Drug ballad.
Yeah, Drug Ballad is pretty legit. Like, as far as like the deep cuts on the album, like Drug Ballad's pretty fucking fire. Did you know the thing about the backstory that like basically after he made that song is when Eminem went completely off the fucking rails?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, it checks out, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, for sure. They
That's
said this man fell off stage one time and like peak Eminem, the height of his popularity, fell off stage into the crowd, and the bodyguard was like, "I just dove 20 feet, fucking falling." Because his ex same time while he was performing this song, and the man just fell. Like shit, the bodyguard had to dive off the stage after him. Like,
fucking wild ass shit.
hello,
Fucking wonderful song,
hello,
I'd have to say.
what happened?
You having technical difficulties?
Uh,
No, y'all are still here.
hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Is Kenny off or something?
No, he's still on. Guys.
Oh yeah, fucking banger. I mean, the whole album, dude. Like, it's just iconic. Fucking wow. I didn't know that shit about drug battle, like about him falling off, like going over the edge after that. I mean, like I said, it checks out, but like, yeah, it's a. I mean, dude, like if you like even like if you're trying to get into hip hop or something, like definitely an album Like you could just listen to Stan, and you could listen to Stan and the real Slim Shady. It's like if somehow you've never heard those fucking songs, like those are very easy gateway songs. And
If you were
then
born before the year 2005 and you haven't heard any of these songs, then I don't really know what you were doing with your life, man. I
yeah,
just don't know.
I
How do
mean,
you avoid it, you know?
but this shit, like this is a good album to get somebody into rap.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
it's just I don't know, like it's so fucking wild, but but at the same time it's easy to listen to. Like it's easy
Hmm.
to digest, I guess. But yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10. The Way I Am is my favorite song. Drug Ballad's a close second. And that would be, of course, out of the hits, like, I always love Stan. Like, still love that song. It's one of my favorite songs.
Oh,
But
yeah. It's inspirational. It's probably one of the songs that made me like realize that hip hop was more than just, Mike Jones, like back in the
yeah.
day.
But yeah. So what do you think, Trevor? I know Eminem was your favorite.
He was my favorite when I was a kid, and I actually did, just because y'all were asking earlier, why did Eminem beef with Fred Durst? And believe it or not, it came from the Everlast. It wound up coming about from the Everlast disc, and essentially the quote says, Eminem himself says, the reason I diss Limp Bizkit is because they're little fucking girls. Of course, this is probably back when he was on drugs, so let's take this with a grain of salt. The reason I
Bitch
dissed them
ass.
is because when all the beef with Everlast was going on, right, they wanted to jump in the middle of it. They wanted to jump in it with me and take my side, and they wanted to do a song with me. Everlast did a song dissing me, then I dissed him back, then he dissed me back again, so I was going to diss him back one final time, so I was telling them about it, and they wanted to get on the song. Eminem recounted Durst telling him to write some verses for him to sing and said Limp Bizkit Turntablist shared his own thoughts on Everlast. Quote, DJ Lethal is like, man, I hate Everlast. He comes over, he steals my weed, all this shit. So I'm like, okay, if you guys really want to get on a song, I'll set up the studio time in LA. Let's do it. Anyway, basically what had happened was Fred Durst and them wound up actually kind of turning back on that. And they were like, no, I don't know about, about
I
doing a diss.
don't
And
know if I can
Fred
be on
Durst
this shit,
himself was,
Eminem. This shit's too scandalous. Like,
yeah, Fred Durst himself was like, man, I got a toothache. I can't do it. And Everlast and DJ Lethal's still friends with Everlast, and Eminem just took it the wrong way, and he wound up dissing him. So I don't know if they're
I'm
cool now. I hope they are, but
sure they're
yeah,
fine now.
that is the story behind that.
Eminem
Also, a
snorted
bit of
seven
a hot
ecstasy pills
take.
and was like, "Fuck y'all."
Well, fuck Everlast.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
Everlast. Yeah, for real though.
fuck. You don't know what it's like. Fuck you. I do know what it's like. You goddamn
Fucking
Irish
Whitey's
American
Revenge
rapper.
is probably the no, not Whitey's Revenge. What's the one? What's the oh god?
Whitey
What's the
Ford.
diss track?
Whitey.
Whitey Ford sings the blues.
Oh, the diss track?
Yeah, the
Fucking
diss track. I remember. No, wait, hold on. I
fucking quitter.
remember back when you had the
Whitey's
knack.
yeah, Everlast put out Quitter, or no, Everlast put out Whitey's Revenge, and Eminem put out Quitter. And
Yeah, there were a few. Eminem just started rolling on folks at this point in life. He started just murking every. I mean, really, some folks that he didn't need to. Eminem's probably had the weirdest beef history in history, but Everlast, fucking R.I.P. Everlast, R.I.P. Benzino, R.I.P. Ja Rule, R.I.P. Diddy,
R.I.P. the
R.I.P.
source. Like,
R.I.P. the source, yeah, like R.I.P. Kid Rock, like what the fuck, Trump,
oh,
like
and on, and honestly, a bit of a hot take, but shout out fucking MGK for actually being one of the few people who's like, yeah, I can't out rap you, but I'm gonna try. And then he actually put up a pretty good fucking fight, dude. I'm not
and
gonna lie. Like
Cannabis,
a lot of people,
you got young Cannabis in
cannabis,
there.
cannabis, and Joe Budden. Between cannabis, Joe Budden, and MGK are the three best like disses towards Eminem. No
That's
one's ever
preach,
done
bro.
better. The game,
Bro,
fucking
that's a love letter. That's not a diss. That's
literally,
confused admiration.
it's like, yeah, he was saying it's like, yeah, I'm gonna diss Eminem, and it just turned into like, oh well, I actually love you, and I'm gonna like steal all your flows and show you how much I love you, and then he's like, yeah, look how much I hate him, and everybody's like, all right,
It's the biggest
um,
ode to Aftermath Entertainment ever. Thank you, game. That shit's sweet.
yeah, honestly, the badass shit, thanks. But no, right, I would have to say my favorite songs on the album, "Kill You" is a fucking great album opener. Stan is hard to beat. The Way I Am, again, Chef's Kiss on that song. I feel like that's one of the like hardest hitting songs he ever put out, like up there with like When I'm Gone and like Mockingbird. Like when he's getting in his emotional bag, that's when I really like Eminem myself. But The Way I Am is like it's peak Eminem. Um,
Yep.
Marshall Mathers, as goofy of a song as that is, I enjoy it quite a bit. I remember my first time listening through this back when I was in high school. I remember I really liked Remember Me, but I also remember I grew up. And then I would have to say, like, Drug Ballad, Amityville is still, like, in my rotation just because, like,
Crazy song.
Bizarre is so fucking bizarre that every
Mm-hmm.
time I hear a verse of his, I can't help but laugh. And yeah, like the whole album, top to bottom, it's damn near perfect. It's a 10 out of 10. And, that kind of just goes to show you what kind of year 2000 was in music as a whole. But I feel like, the albums we've went over today, apart from like some honorable mentions that, I go ahead and go into mine real quick since I'm the one actively talking. I'll get through them really quick. Um, first off, shout out to the albums that didn't make the cut. Just to get into my metal bag a little bit, LD50 from Mudvayne. I know y'all probably aren't that big of a fan of Mudvayne, but as a bass guitarist, dude, Ryan Martini is one of the best bassists in that genre specifically, and like you have buku options as to like proof of that. The Unseen from Madlib, which was almost kind of like it was showing like what he was capable of before he went like into the real depths of his career, and songs like with albums like Mad Villainy, the Freddie Gibbs joints he did. Like, I mean, you really can't pick a wrong one on there. And then obviously Whoa Nelly from Nelly Furtado. And if y'all aren't familiar with that, it's not the Timbaland joint. It's the one with I'm like a bird, I want to fly away.
I'm a
I don't know
fly.
where I'm
Yeah,
going. I don't know where my
that's that
home
shit,
is.
bro.
Like, absolute fucking
Mm-hmm.
banger. And one more, Relationship of Command from At the Drive-In. If y'all are into like almost like mathy prog rock with a little bit of a twist to it, I would say this album was well ahead of its time as far as the genre itself goes, and just a beautiful album all the way throughout. But yeah, y'all go ahead with y'all's.
Okay.
You want to go first, Harley?
Yeah, I guess I'll go like some honorable mentions. I mean, I got one on my list. Like I talked about Mad Season by Matchbox 20 earlier. Like that's my favorite Matchbox 20 album. It's a great dude. It's top to bottom fucking heat. Check it out if you like Matchbox 20. Like what people think about like the first album, like the second album is different. Like I mean, it is Matchbox 20 at the core, but it's a little darker. Like Trevor knows what I'm talking about. Like about that album.
Oh
Like
yeah, I should have
it
ripped you
takes a
apart,
different
Moses.
turn. It's
I definitely gotta check it out.
yeah, like it's different, but it's really good. Um, like I said, like my favorite song on there is Rest Stop, and by God, it's a fucking tearjerker. Um,
Mm-mm.
and then this one, dude, this one was close. Like I don't really know. I think I left it off because I have other albums of theirs that come after this one that I'm definitely putting on here on my list. But White Pony from the Deftones, what a
Mm.
fucking what a damn album, dude! Like one of the most one of the most easy listening albums. I swear to God, like you put this shit on, it just fucking flows, and you're like, damn, like you listen to it, and you're like, damn, 53 minutes done passed. I mean, and it's like a cool story because like it starts out like back to school mini maggot in parentheses, and then it ends with pink maggot, and it ties in together the whole album. It's fucking great, dude. It is a fucking
Damn.
trip. It's a great album to listen to. Elite is my favorite song on the album, and it is the ass beater without a fucking doubt. It is. That or Knife Party is a close fucking second. A close. Of course, this is the album that has their biggest hit, Change in the House of Flies. You know, it was on Queen of the Damned. I watched you change.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
Like you never had.
That's Deftones. Okay, bet.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah,
Good out. Good
no,
album to have.
Deftones is really really funny just because like fucking like if you ever wanted to hear like a chubby Hispanic dude just moan in your ear, just
Yeah. And guess what?
like
That's what
fantastic
I'm
time.
talking about.
It
That's
might
what I'm
come
talking
as a,
about.
it might come as a surprise, but it's a great album to have sexual intercourse to. Uh,
Yeah, big surprise there.
Noted.
so, and I guess my other honorable mention, I have to shout out, you know, the goat, George Strait. This was he put out a self-titled, and you know, people are like, damn, this is where he fell off. And let me check my notes here. He fell off with 3 number ones on this album. Like,
Jesus.
Bro.
that no, like bro, I for real, like this is like if you look it up, people like this is like one of his worst critically like receptive out. Like people shit on. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, and then it's odd because it does have 3 number ones, but it is a different like what George Strait was doing at that time, and like this 2000 album, like where he went from it and to where he was going to when we get to 2001 and I got the road less traveled from him, which is a fucking which is looked at as like one of his best. This was like the precursor to that because like he was kind of coming in from like the you know he was he was just making a step, like he was just kind of changing his like he's still George Strait, like he does his same thing, like he pretty much does like whatever the fuck he wants and like all the you know, different types of country on one album. But
Mm.
like, it's kind of different. It's hard to explain because it's like he has his neo traditionalist shit, which is like purely the '80s and like early '90s, and like he kind of like started venturing off. Like he never went like, you know, he never went like pop, like you know, like a Tim McGraw, like a real mainstream type vibe, but he just had this you know, like he just very like he had great commercial success, but he
Yeah.
never changed his sound. You know, it was just people loved him, and he just had a like a very big fan base and loyal fan base. So, but like he just his sound was just kind of changing a little bit. You could hear it coming through the '90s, and then like at the end of it, and like coming into the 2000s. He had like he just had this different sound coming, which in 2001, like I said, like he hit that sound that he was trying to get, and then like, and then he just took off for another run of his career. That just went on like, just started putting out fucking heat again, like, or just
Until the
kept
end of
putting out
time.
heat. Say what?
So it went on until the end of time.
Pretty much, like, dude's still doing it, but like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like it's a really good album. Now it is like I said, it's critically like you know they shit on this. I don't really know why because like I said, it does have 3 number one hits, but like it's a really good album. Like the whole thing is just it is a different vibe for a George Strait album. I'll give you a fair warning if you decide to listen to it. It is you'll understand what I'm talking about. You can listen to the album before and the album after and listen to this and you're like, okay, I see what like it's like there's a big vibe shift that goes through there. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that's I guess those are my honorable mentions that I'm gonna
Um,
go with.
man, so much good music in the year 2000. I got 3 honorable mentions. I'm gonna try to get through them quick, but this year was crazy. So first one I'm gonna get to is the one that almost took Nelly's spot, and you know I'm probably gonna debate with myself on whether or not it deserved my third album spot or not for the rest of my life. The Big Picture by Big L. This was a posthumous album, and if you don't know who Big L is, then you need to go and do your homework on who Big L is, especially if you're into hip hop or into boom bap or into that old shit or whatever the people are calling it. This album is fantastic, and it's really the blueprint for a lot of people who name their albums the blueprint and shit, you know. And people, it goes like to me, it like it was a natural evolution after like Biggie and Tupac. It's like it's almost like if Biggie and Tupac were the same person, you know. Um, but it also stands on its own. Big L, the big picture. Go check it out if you like any of that shit, or if you don't like any of that shit. Go check it out. R.I.P. Big L. He was tragically killed right after this album was like finished, basically.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not gonna stay on it for 50 million. That Eminem interview took a lot out of me. So, but fantastic. I honestly give that Big L album. I give it a 9. That's how hard this year was. You know. Then we got When the Smoke Clears by 3-6 Mafia, which is the second to last project featuring all the group's original members. It's got arguably one of their biggest hits, Sipping on Some Scissor with UGK. If you don't know if you ain't never heard that song, then the fuck out my car. You know, and then there's one more I had. Hold on one second. Oh yeah, Deltron 3030. And there's probably a whole podcast about just Deltron 3030. It's probably the most deep concept album ever. It's by Del the Funky Homo Sapien, and it's basically made. It's a rap album based in the year 3030 on the planet Deltron. And so if you're into like that super, I almost wanted to cover it, but it would have taken me probably a whole month to get, to a point where I was, felt confident enough to, actually speak on it. I don't know, Trevor. I think you've heard it before. I've heard it before. It's a lot, but it's very, very creative, and it's very.
It's a fucking banger, dude. I'm a big fan of Del the Funky Homo Sapien. That album almost made the cut for me personally.
Yeah. So maybe we'll have to do when we do like a revisionist history episode, we'll cover Deltron 3030. But yeah, man, that's what a year, man. Good thing the world didn't end.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Britney Spears. Young Britney Spears did it again in the year 2000. My bad.
Also, damn, we got Y2J.
Hell yeah.
Chris Jericho, baby.
Hell yeah. I wonder if our girl, Jennifer Love Hewitt dropped anything.
Oh, we're not gonna find out.
Let me type in the worst album of 2000 right quick. Oh, fucking we don't. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not covering none of the Diddlers albums. But he was a thing.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, he was a thing. All right, looking ass.
Yeah.
It's not funny, my bad.
No, that's pretty funny. But but nah, damn. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess when we get to our number one picks, we're gonna talk for 30 minutes of fucking peace. But it is what it is. We're having fun.
This joint was a monster. It wasn't as big of a monster as 1999, but like, damn, it could have been.
Dude, it was pretty tough. I mean, like, yeah. Well, like 2001's got dude. The 2000s had some fucking heat, and it's about to get goddamn exciting.
About to get serious.
It is. Like we'll try to strap it down a little bit. If we can do 5 out, like if we do 5 out, like we could cut it down. Pretty cut like slim on the first episodes, but then when we do the second part, we do our number ones. Like I guess it'll just whatever. Like I've just I've come to the terms that when we get to our favorite albums of that year, we're just gonna fucking ramble on for a little bit.
Yeah, that Marshall Mathers LP jump felt like I feel like I was talking a full hour. I didn't check the time or nothing, but like I feel like that jump was like 5 years, bro.
Dude, I think it was about 35 minutes, but
damn, my bad.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Damn, son, where'd you find this, bro?
But yeah,
Detroit.
This has been Our Yard Podcast. I'm sipping and dipping. I'm tripping, man. I'm about all out. I'm sipping on some scissor. Listen,
sipping on some scissor.
Sip on some sip.
But I guess it's been your co-host. It's been Swaggy T. It's been ye old Hogmaster. It's been That's Kenny. It's been a great night. We can't wait to get back for some more. Maybe this weekend. Who knows? Only time will tell. We love you guys. Never forget.
Thank y'all.
Here we go.